Hello everybody, this is Fernando for the latest Ghosts and Spirits Special Edition video. I thought I would make a special edition video dedicated to all of the best footage, all of the best evidence that I've captured within my ghost tours this year. Those of you that are fans of my series know that I started all my ghost tours very early this year, and ever since then that's what I've been doing, is just traveling throughout various parts of Texas. And in some cases, if I fly somewhere and I happen to know that there's a haunted location conveniently there, then I will visit that location as well. But yes, that's all I've been doing, just doing a bunch of tours and then taking pictures of them. I love doing them because it's so fascinating to look at the history associated with them. There's a chance that I could capture some evidence, and then also it's pretty cheap because these tours, a lot of them have to be with historical sites, happen to be with historical sites, and so they make them always very inexpensive. So highly recommended if you have a chance to go do that same thing too. Start your own ghost tours. Just start looking up various locations nearby your area, driving distances, and then start checking them out. See if you capture anything too. So I'm going to select a few pictures from my ghost tours, and I'll have the evidence highlighted in yellow with regards to a yellow circle, and then I'll give some brief information associated with them too. So let's go ahead and let's get started. The first picture here happens to be with a place called the Log Cabin Village, located there in Fort Worth, Texas. This is a unique location in the sense that it's living history. When you go there, you're basically seeing real life cabins as they existed from the 1800s. So they are preserved as a historical site. This was done to make sure that if you wanted to take a little trip back in time and see how these cabins look like as they were standing so way back when, you do have this opportunity. This cabin in particular that you're looking at the picture of is the first cabin that you see when you visit the location. It's the first one also because it's the one that you go into when you're starting the tour, and the one you're exiting as well. This also has the hallmark of being the most haunted cabin within all of the cabins there at the location, and I have purposely circled where I saw what I believe to be an apparition on this photo. So here's the story of this haunting and everything there within that cabin. So the second floor is now blocked off from this cabin. You cannot go there anymore. This apparently was done a couple years back, and the reason for that is because there's been a lot of activity happening on that second floor. Back when tourists were able to go there, people described having things thrown at them. People described people like sensing things, like they could sense someone staring back at them intensely. People also smelled like a very strong smell there. People reported hearing sounds, like in terms of footsteps, shuffling. Obviously, when nobody should be there, that's when they saw this. And then in the most horrific circumstances, people reported being pushed, like violently pushed, while they were up there. So much so that there were tales of people running out screaming from the second floor, trying to get the hell out of there. Now, because of all this, it's been blocked and it's cordoned off. You cannot go there again. But still, to this very day, people report that they can hear from the bottom floor some of that activity happening on the first floor. So knowing this, I took a picture of the cabin as I was walking up towards it. As in most cases, I don't review the photos right then and there. I just simply take a picture and then I move on. And then if I happen to see something live, perfect, but most of the time I'm finding this evidence after the fact. Such was the case here. So within that circled yellow circle, you'll see that it looks like I captured, if it's possible, the actual ghost that is purported to haunt that second floor. So it looks somewhat distinctive. I mean, you can kind of see the face, you can see the shoulders, you can even see within the face the widow's peak hairstyle that this thing has. You can see on the shoulders what looks to be like a jacket of some sort, even like a white dress shirt. By the way, these photos, I think YouTube does this by itself. There's no way I can control it, but I believe when I upload my photos on my YouTube videos, they compress the image so it kind of loses the detail. If you wanted to see all these photos that I'm presenting in its glory, I'm going to go ahead and create a folder, a separate photo album showcasing this information on my official Facebook channel, and I'll include the link below. So if you haven't had a chance to check out my Facebook channel, check it out. Go ahead and like it, and then you'll see these photos in all their resolutions. So, but yes, I think I captured that ghost because it absolutely, to me, it looks like there's a face and part of the shoulder staring back at me. Now, could it be just pure coincidence, and maybe the shadows were playing with me right there, and it happened to look like there's a man staring back at me? If it was, that is one heck of a coincidence. But I guess we'll see later on. I didn't see anything physically myself. I didn't feel anything, hear anything, but I think I did capture that purported haunted entity from the second floor. So let's go ahead and I'll showcase the next one here. This one is a unique circumstance in the sense that there's nothing haunted here in this photo, but it's what haunted the experience was right after this. I didn't capture a footage of it, like I didn't capture a photo of it, but here's how the story goes. So this location that I'm at here is a place called the Mission Espiritu Santo. They're located in Gallia, Texas. This is a location that happens to be right next to it. So if you go to that mission, great, you can explore it, you can walk around. It's a mission built from the 1800s. Very, very interesting history, massacre, tragedy history associated with it. But if you wanted to see some of the ways that a lot of people live there, that's the interesting part there. But because of the massacre that's associated from that location, this happened to be with Santa Anna and some of his men, basically killing dozens and dozens and dozens of soldiers, Texas soldiers, near the end of the Texas-Mexican War. Well, there's a place right by it that's a trail of some sort. It's a trail, like it's a real trail. You can actually walk on that trail, and it goes about 2 miles or so. Fair warning, if you're going to go there, it's not for the lighthearted. You have to be not in great shape, but you definitely are going to get a good workout when you go on that trail, because you're going through a lot of hills, ups and downs, lots of stairs too. So it's going to give you a good workout. Well, towards the end of the trail, the pathway starts getting less and less visible. I was taking it as far as I could, in the sense that when the pathway was getting to the point where the grass was taking over the pathway, I was kind of call it quits right there, because I don't want to get lost. I mean, we're talking nearly me going 2 miles deep into this trail. I didn't want to be that fool that shows up on a news report later on where it says a local Texas boy was found, disoriented several days later after being lost within the trail. So it was near after this point where I took the picture where the trail started disappearing, and I said, that's it, I'm gone. I'm going to just turn back and follow the visible trail back to the original entrance. Well, the haunting that's associated with this trail, and I kept this in mind as I was taking it, is people report hearing and seeing a wolf, a phantom wolf that haunts this trail. They'll see him appear out from the forest or the foresty area, kind of like stare at them and then disappear back into the woods, like running back into it. You can never catch it. So if you do try to, let's say, follow it, it'll just disappear, perfectly disappear into those woods, so you'll never be able to get close to it. Myself, I never saw anything like that. I was by myself throughout the entire trail. There was nobody around me. It was absolutely by myself. So that was kind of eerie enough in of itself. But at the same time, it was kind of cool because I would have complete uninterrupted trip. So I would not have anybody else that I could confuse noises for. No, if I saw something or if I heard something, then I knew it was something else entirely different. Well, again, when I reached that point where I was getting right to the very end of the trail, at least the visible part of the trail, I decided to turn around. It was right at that very moment, no kidding, right at that very moment, probably the 10 to 15 seconds after I took this picture, that I heard a heavy panting, and it was the panting of a wolf or something like a dog-like creature, and it was very close by to me. Like it was something where I could hear it. It was very close, but I could not see it anywhere. And immediately when I heard that, I was like, nope, that's it. And so that's when I started going back as quick as I could back to the trail. I was already going to turn around again because the trail had practically ended for me, but once I heard this heavy panting from a wolf-like creature, and knowing that this is what's purportedly the thing that haunts this location, then that was it. I just turned around and then I walked back. Luckily, though, there was nothing in terms of like bad experience. Like I didn't have something chasing me. I didn't sense any danger. No thrown rocks or anything like that. No, I just simply heard that panting as if this wolf, this phantom wolf, was making its appearance known to me somehow. I was in its territory, in other words, and then that was enough for me. I just simply left. I walked as quickly as I could away, and then that was it. So, but yes, if you have a chance, go check out the mission Espiritu Santo. But take that trail on the side if you have an extra opportunity, and if you're lucky, you may be able to either see or hear, like I did, that phantom wolf. Now the next picture. This one also is another mission. This one is also there in Goliad, Texas. I visited these two back to back, one on one day, one after the other. This one has to do with the mission that's called the Presidio La Bahia, again located in Goliad, Texas. This one is more haunted than the other mission, and the reasoning for that is because much of the massacre from Santa Ana, again with regards to Texas soldiers, physically occurred near here. So that's why it has a lot more hauntings. In fact, it's more famous than the other mission for those hauntings, so much so that you can visit and stay. You can actually stay within this mission for the night. They have some lodgings of some sort that I think they rent for close to $200 a night, but you basically get the entire mission for yourself for the night. So if you're brave enough to do that, you can do so, and you will absolutely hear and see apparitions. You pretty much have a guarantee of seeing or hearing these apparitions there. So myself, of course, I only take these tours during the day. It's just safer for me. I don't want to risk anything at night, but at least with regards to the daytime, then that is good. So once I visited this location, just like I did with the log cabin village, as I was coming up to it, I took pictures, and then lo and behold, right here in the circle, that's when I captured this. It looks like it's an orb of some sort, a very large orb, in fact. That is not a play of light. Like, that is not like a stream of light or a flicker of light, something coming from, let's say, the sun passing through that large tree onto the wall. No, when you zoom in fact, and again, check out the original photo on my Facebook page. When you zoom in, you'll see that it is blurry, like it is physically in front of the wall. It's almost like if it's passing from left to right. So this was pretty neat. I did not know that it was there when I took the picture. I just simply took it, and upon second examination later on, that's when I saw this there. But it does add credence to the fact that this location, this Presidio La Bahia, is indeed truly haunted, because if I can have this captured in daytime and it stands out this much, imagine at night what you can capture there too. None of the other pictures that I took really captured anything else, but instead this one did. But it goes to show that this location definitely has some reported hauntings. By the way, some other hauntings that are there, you can apparently run into a priest that seems to frequent that area. You're not supposed to, I think, begrudge him or bother him, because apparently that's when things turn a little nasty. And then also there's a church there that is purportedly haunted by a poltergeist too. So if you go to that church, be a little careful, because apparently you can have things attack you or throw things at you. I didn't experience none of that, of course, when I was there, but those are what some other people have experienced too. So let's go to the next picture. This one has to do, and this is a good preview for you folks out there. I'm still working on a video for this. It's a tour that I took in San Antonio. It's a ghost tour right by the Alamo, and it starts with the Alamo and then it cordons off to various other parts near the Alamo. So this one happens to do with a museum. It's a home, like an old home from the 1800s that has been converted into a museum, and I'm taking a picture through one of the glass windows. So the way the story goes is whenever you visit this location, there's an entity of some sort within this home. And again, this is close by to the Alamo, which is, of course, another place that is purported to be haunted by many, many ghosts because of the most famous tragedy of all within Texas occurring there. But again, in this home, is supposed to be housed by an entity of some sort, either a soldier, another soldier from one of those tragedies, or and one of the homeowners, or according to the tour guide, it was a woman that also visits that location, someone that I guess used to live there or own it, and even after death just stays there. But in this case, the one you don't want is the man. Not the soldier, but the man, because this entity, whatever this is, it seems to be more violent than all the other ones. And the way the tour guide stated is to draw its attention, and so people have success. You tap on the window, and then you start taking pictures. So it's a little hard to see, but when I was taking the picture of the window here, towards the far back where you see the lights, it's a hallway of some sort. There's a light creating at least some visibility within the hallway. Sure enough, I ended up tapping on the window, and then there I am taking a quick succession of photos. And in doing so, I noticed that something started to emerge within the photos, because this time I was checking them one by one. So I was taking a picture, quick look, take another picture, quick look, take another picture, and then by the third picture, this one here, that's when I saw this mist of some sort start forming within the middle of the hallway. Now, so was it one of those three entities that I happened to capture within this hallway? Could be. None of the other pictures showed this entity within it, so it didn't show like this mist-like thing within the middle of the hallway. So I think I really did capture something. But yes, if you happen to go there to the Alamo in San Antonio, and you take that tour, the San Antonio Ghost Tour. I think it's one of two that are the only ones there within San Antonio. Well, they'll take you to the outside of this museum, knock on that window that the tour guide points out to you, and then start taking pictures. If you're lucky, you may be able to capture something like I did here. So the next picture, this one happens to do with a famous ship that I visited there, Galveston. I believe it's Galveston or Corpus Christi, one of those two within Texas. It's called the USS Lexington, another haunted location of sorts. This one having to do, of course, with the deaths, the unfortunate deaths that the ship had during its time period, during its heyday of warfare. There were tales that I heard there where there was a kamikaze ship, a kamikaze plane that happened to take out some unfortunate soldiers there within the USS Lexington, and then other reports of battle as well, claiming lives within the ship, even some of the soldiers dying afterward from battle and then going onto the ship and then dying within the ship itself. The most haunted region within the ship remains the engine room. I don't know why specifically, but looking up information on the internet, that seems to be the one that has the most experience of all. This is a picture within the engine room, by the way, which is pristine, crystal clear when it comes to its cleanliness. I was amazed how clean this ship was. I don't know if it's the humidity, because it is very humid there. I mean, it's insanely humid. Galveston / Corpus Christi alone are very humid in and of itself, but imagine being several decks below inside a huge steel ship. The air conditioning is running, but it's just not as effective, and having all that heat and humidity within the ship, I guess it drives away all the insects. I don't know, but it was completely crystal clean within the ship. I mentioned that because when you're looking at this, the circled object within this picture, you'll notice that there seems to be something, a wisp of some sort, some ghost-like thing passing, I guess, from the bottom to the top left. So much so that you can see it pass in front of that black screen of some sort and create that distortion, indicating that it is in front of that black screen. So I did not see this, of course, happening when I was taking the picture, but upon reviewing it afterward, that's when I saw this. So did I capture whatever it was that purportedly haunts the most haunted location within the USS Lexington? Possibly so. The reason for this is because other tales that people say within the ship that does have apparently what is it, anniversary stayovers. Not all the time, but apparently during certain parts of the year, you can schedule a very private tour where basically you're staying overnight within the ship. And when that happens, that's when you have the entire ship to yourself. Of course, some areas are cordoned off, but still, you have most of the ship to yourself. And that's when things get truly creepy. I mean, people will see apparitions standing right in front of them, like the actual soldier himself, one of the soldiers that died there, standing right in front of them, just staring back at them. So if you can stomach that, and if you wanted to stay within the ship, then you have this opportunity sometimes throughout several parts of the year. But did I capture something within this photograph? I think I did, because nowhere else within any of my photographs does this have anything like that. I took a bunch of pictures within the engine room knowing how haunted it is, and none of the other pictures showed this wisp-like object. And it can't be, I know the first thing that comes to mind is, what if it's spider webs? I was mentioning earlier how everything was crystal clear when it came to being its cleanliness, because there was no spider webs anywhere. I'm telling you that for a fact. Like, there was nothing around the entire ship containing spiders. This is a ship that hasn't been in operation for decades, but for whatever reason, it still is absolutely so clean. So this is not spider web. In other words, it's something in terms of a ghost or some spirit or something, wisping through that portion of my photograph, and I just happened to capture it right there. So that is pretty interesting too. Now let's go ahead and we'll go to the last picture here. This one happens to be one of the earliest tours that I took this year. One of my frequent trips to Las Vegas, I decided to check out a haunted place there at the Excalibur. If you go to the Excalibur, which is that famous casino/hotel that happens to be medieval times themed, I love it. It's my favorite hotel to stay in. They offer the best rewards possible, the best free nights. I've been staying there for years, and I'll continue to do so. Plus, they happen to be right by the Strip area that seems to be the most popular, so everything is within good walking distance, so I always love staying there. But there's one place that I won't stay, and that's the 10th floor on the first tower, or Tower 1, which today I believe is called the Royal Tower. So, if you wanted to take a little ghost tour of sorts next time you're in Las Vegas, go to the Excalibur, go to Tower 1, which is again the Royal Tower, and then go to the 10th floor. That floor and all the other floors, they'll basically go off into two directions, one on the left, one on the right. And then think of it like a 90-degree angle, one going left, one going right. If you go down either of those hallways, the idea or the haunting that you're supposed to experience is that you will have something behind you, like something right next to you. You can absolutely feel it behind you, almost breathing down your neck. And then if it goes even further, you're supposed to have it whisper your name, or whisper hello, or whisper something to you, making its presence known. So you have to walk down the hallway all the way towards the end, walk back, hopefully by yourself. In other words, there's no tourists around or anyone else from the Excalibur as a co-worker there. So I always, when I went here for specifically, I timed it towards the middle of the night because I wanted to make sure that I would not be disturbed. But yes, when I went down this hallway, I did not hear anything, I did not see anything, I did not feel anything, but there I was definitely taking pictures, and then in reviewing things afterward, boom, that's when I caught this. Within that circle, you'll notice there looks to be 1, 2, 3, maybe 4 lights of some sort. And the first thing, of course, that comes to mind, what if those are reflections? Like my camera lens, for whatever reason, caught distorted reflections from all these lights within the hallway, like the lights on top of the ceiling, the lights by the doors. And I was thinking that too, but Notice that these lights do not follow a pattern. So all those other lights on the hallway, on the top ceiling, the doors, they are going in like a very straight symmetrical pattern. So if it was reflecting on my camera lens, shouldn't it follow like a same pattern of some sort? Here though, these four lights, they are not symmetrical, like they're not going in a pattern. They are completely separate from one another, going in different directions. That tells me that something else completely different, like this is not a reflection of some sort. So did I capture something associated with the purported entity haunting the 10th floor of Tower 1, or the Royal Tower now within the Excalibur? I think I did. I think I absolutely did capture something there. If you're wondering like where these hauntings come from, one of the worst, I guess, not I don't know if you call it a secret, but something that's kept hidden from the public within the tourism there in Las Vegas is the fact that a lot of suicide, not like hundreds of suicides, but there's still a frequent number of suicides that happen within casinos. It's just the experience that people have. Like they'll go there, they'll spend their life savings, they'll try to turn things around. Maybe they're in a rut of some sort, like they're in a really low point within their lives. They're trying to turn it around, they can't, and so they're done. So they, within the hotel slash casino that they're staying at, trying to turn things around, they decide to end their lives right there. So did something happen within the 10th floor there at the Excalibur? Could be that's why people report having that sensation whenever they're walking down the hallway. Whatever it was that decided to commit suicide, who knows when, they in turn are making their presence known to all the other people that visit that floor. But yes, I think I did capture something in terms of some paranormal activity within my photo there. But that's it. That's everything I have so far this year with regards to my ghost tours and what I've been able to capture on them. As soon as I do other ghost tours, and I'll continue to do them throughout this year and then next year and then going forward, and I capture more evidence, then I'll create another special edition video of two. And yes, please check out the link below for my Facebook page. That'll showcase these photographs in their glory, so you can see them in the best resolution possible. So alright everybody, thanks again as always. Take care.